Hi everyone, I'm W. Have you ever noticed that Chinese fantasy novels sound so dramatic in English, like the characters are on a constant royal ego trip? Today, let's figure out why. This king, this seat commands, this venerable one will not forgive you. And you're like, sir, why are you talking about yourself like a piece of furniture? Well, it turns out there's actually a reason for this. It all comes down to honorific self-titles and hierarchy in Chinese. Because Chinese and English handle power, status, and respect in completely different ways. And translators are basically doing cultural gymnastics to make it work. In Chinese, status is built into words. Characters don't just say I, they say, this king, this lord, this venerable one. Your identity signals your rank. Every sentence reminds people where you stand in the food chain. But English speakers would rather evaporate than refer to themselves like that. In English culture, constantly stating your status sounds arrogant, theatrical, and slightly unhinged. So, web novel translators face a big question: how to keep the power vibe without making the character sound like a medieval role-player at Comic-Con. Different novels solve this problem in different ways, depending on their world setting and tone. Let's look at 3 common strategies. Alright, first up, Western-style worlds, like Lord of the Mysteries. In these worlds, you've got churches, nobles, secret societies. Translating is way easier here. You don't need those weird self-titles. Your power just shows through how other people address you. For example, Sir, Lord, Your Grace. Speak a bit formally, stay polite, but no need to overdo it. Let's look at a real example from chapter 53. Zhujiao Bishop is a Western concept. Translators could draw on the existing title lord, saving the efforts to create an understandable term. And next, we're entering the maximum ego zone, overpowered villains, like in Battle Through the Heavens. These antagonists love saying, I, this king, this seat, this deity. In Chinese, it's all about showing overwhelming dominance. But in English, literal translation equals instant cringe. So translators usually do a trick. Instead of pumping up the title, they let the tone do the work. Short, cold, zero politeness, absolute certainty. Not,
this king will kill you!
Instead,
You will die!
art. Cold, final. For example, when Xiao Yang confronts Fei Tian, the disciple of Lei Zongji, we can see that Benzuo, literally, this seat, was not translated. Instead, the translator used a commanding sentence to convey Fei Tian's authority. Let's come to the last case, humorous scenes like in Perfect World. The world here is cosmic, larger than life, so translators can get a bit dramatic, but gotta be careful. Sometimes they even keep some fancy elevated phrasing for fun. For example, the scene where Shi Hao first meets the celestial horned ant, it's hilarious. The young ant tries to act all serious and authoritative, and the translator literally kept Ben Wan as this king to keep that over the top, slightly funny vibe. And it actually makes the scene even funnier in English. So, after all these examples, what's really going on behind the scenes? Here's the big idea. Chinese encodes hierarchy in nouns and pronouns. English encodes hierarchy in tone and sentence structure. Benzuo doesn't mean this seat. What it really means is authority, distance, dominance, emotional coldness, or even humor. Translators ask, what feeling did this title create? Then rebuild that feeling using English tools. So, next time you read a translated Chinese novel and a character sounds effortlessly intimidating, that's not an accident. That's a translator secretly performing linguistics, acting, cultural psychology, and damage control, all at the same time. Because nothing is harder than translating someone who literally calls themselves this exalted one and making it sound cool. If you enjoyed this kind of deep dive content, follow me, and I will keep these coming. I'll also randomly pick a few lucky people from the comments to give away some reading coins. Happy reading, and I'll see you next time.